Hello everybody and welcome to the remake of my God Wars Dungeon for Beginners guide. The purpose for this video is to introduce new players to the wonderful world of God Wars Dungeon. So that being said, this is a guide for people who have never been to God Wars Dungeon. And we will start off by saying that you need a fair combat level to do God Wars Dungeon. So my combat level here is 103. I recommend a combat level of at least 80. With melee stats of all at least 75 and 43 prayer. That being said, the lower your status, the bigger the team you're going to need to survive in God Wars Dungeon. So the inventory you want to take should look something like this. You will need a spec weapon, some potions for combat, some prayer potions, dark crabs or sharks, and you will need Sardomen brews and super restore pots. They're very handy. So the super restore pots are to restore your stats. Sardomen brews can be used as defense potions, and super combat potions to deal more damage. Bones to peaches are very useful if you want to stay there a longer period of time, since all of the or most of the bosses drop bones, which can be converted into peaches and used for food to help your team last longer. You'll need a games necklace to use the route that we will be going through today. You'll need the Amulet of Glory or better. And a hammer is absolutely required. And for this route, you will also need combat boots and the completion of Death Plateau. You're going to need some teleportation tabs for quick escapes. You will need a Sardomen item, a Zamorak item. You will need some Bandos items. Bandos boots are good enough. And you will need armor that is at least as good as Borrow's, if not better. Dragon might work, but you want to really try to get something as good as Borrow's. Weapons, definitely better than Dragon. A good beginning weapon is a Bandos God Sword. Again, 43 prayer is a must or you will die. Yeah, so that being said, let's get to the route. So the route that we will be taking is colored in red here, and you need the completion of the Death Plateau quest. In my previous video, I took the yellow route, which requires the Trollheim teleport. And I can't remember what quest you do for that one, so I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll leave it in the description. So here we go. Without further ado, we will start walking this direction. And once again, I'll reiterate, and oh my goodness, I forgot to mention, you will, if this is your absolute first time going to God Wars Dungeon, you will need a rope. So you want to head into this guy's house and climb the fence that's in the back. Now, in this part here is where you are required to bring your boots, because without them you cannot climb these rocks that are coming up. These rocks. So after this point, you're free to drop them. They're not really necessary anymore. Some people end up getting stuck here. So as you can see, if you don't click in the right spot, you won't be able to pass this point. It's kind of frustrating. So make sure you click the rocks that are on the top. And from here, you will continue going north until you pass the Dad Troll. Then you will head west. Okay, so from this point on, you're encouraged to just spend all your run energy, because once you hit the snow, it's going to be drained anyways. So if you have a high enough run energy, you might as well just use it here. At this point, you want to protect from missiles, also known as range, because you will be shot by trolls. Now here is where you absolutely need 60 strength. You cannot get past this rock without it. As you can see here, you need 60 strength to access this shortcut, and you need 70 strength to actually access the Bandos General. So I know I mentioned a little late that you need a rope to get into God Wars Dungeon if it's your first time. So if you brought your rope, you're going to want to use it here. Now, if you can't climb down there, you might want to talk to this knight, and if you still can't put the rope on there, you might want to go to follow door and give that to the guy in the park. Now, here to the north is where the Bando stronghold is located, and this video will be dedicated to that region. To the east, we have the Zamora, to the south, Sardomen, and to the west, we have Armadale. And again, this video will focus on the Bando's boss. When you climb down, you're going to want to go directly north, because if you go south, you will be attacked by Armadale minions if you didn't bring an Armadale item. And again, in this spot, you will get jumped if you don't have the 3 god items I mentioned. This is a good place to get your kill count. You will need 40 kill count to access the actual Bando's boss. The fastest place to get your kill count would be a little bit up north here, because these goblins have the lowest combat level of the minions. So this is a typical area where people get their kill count. And again, if you're not wearing a god item, as you will see here, you will get jumped by the gods that you are not representing. So I had forgotten to put my Bando's boots on, and as you can see, I'm getting jumped by all the orcs and orgs or ogres. This area here is where you would wait for your team if you didn't bring any god items. It's not too bad. You won't get your supplies wasted. And it's also a good spot to get a kill count. It's not fast, but it's safe, relatively safe, and you won't use much food. And if you look at my stats, they've been reduced from the snow, so that's why it's an advantage to bring those super store pots. And in this part is where you absolutely need the hammer. You cannot access the boss without a hammer. However, if you forgot to bring your hammer and you really don't want to go all the way back to the bank, there are imps all around this dungeon towards the east side of the dungeon that drop hammers rarely, so if you want to struggle through that, that's an option. So once you have your kill count and your teammates have their kill count, you're going to want to go to this door, and as soon as you click on it, it's going to let you in and you will begin fighting the Bando's general. Now, the person who is directly getting hit by the general should pray melee at all times unless they want to get pounded and killed in one hit. All other fighters should be protecting from range and attacking the general. So the key is to take down the general as fast as possible, and then the minions. So that being said, that's basically the beginning to getting to God Wars Dungeon. So if you guys would like to see a guide on how to actually fight the boss, feel free to leave it down in the comments and I will work towards making that. So yeah, if you want to see this video in Spanish, then feel free to click the link that's on the screen now. And that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Sensible sign out.